going to be discussing Calvin, subtitled Classic Blue from 1981, and Trussardi Python Uomo from 2001.
Now, this is a brand that I really do like.
Yes. And wait until you hear what we have to say about this one. Stay tuned. Check this out.
Oh, is this going to be part of the video right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I thought you wanted to do like an intro, that's right.
No.
Oh.
Intense.
Oh,
yeah. No.
Yeah. This is from someone who loves designers, just not classical designers. This is how old?
It was the early 80s, so we're...
it's definitely an 80s powerhouse.
1981. This is Calvin, the original.
Oh, it's an 80s
original
powerhouse.
Calvin. It is an 80s powerhouse. Wow. This will grow some hair in your chest, folks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have to air out this room before the wife comes over.
I like how chamomile is in the note breakdown. It isn't exactly extending the relaxing and nullifying effects of chamomile, though.
Like, for me, because it's an 80s powerhouse, I associate oak moss and vetiver.
Yeah.
For the most part. And you just get vetiver, oak moss, and patchouli. It's green.
Yeah.
It's super green. So I don't know if that's the patchouli or what.
Yeah.
But it's also quite aromatic.
It is. Yeah. There's a lot of geranium. Yeah. Here's the geraniums coming in. I love geranium. Can you sense the geranium through all of that? Through that cacophony?
No. No, I cannot.
I can. Yeah, this is definitely a very dense one with a lot of layers. This is for the hardcore vintage frag heads who really want to have that uber masculine macho gold chains kind of style.
Disco era.
Yeah, or post-disco, you know, like you already kind of got your jollies off saying disco sucks, but you're secretly going back into the clubs again to try to get a little action.
Oh, that's strong.
Really musky, too. I can pick up that there's probably a little bit of tonquitone and animalis, which are two musky bases that were really common in fragrances in the late 70s and early 80s. Rip roaring and ready to go. Sniff it one more time. I dare you. Is that your style?
No, I can smell it from here.
You don't even need the strip.
Oh, it's so polarizing, but
yeah. But people would clamor over this today. The ones who are just loving this time period, and frankly, I like a lot of the scents from this time period myself.
My wife would not. Like, if she walked in, like, she's out right now, she's just doing her own thing while we film. If she were to walk in right now, how many sprays was that, 1 or 2?
Just 2.
She would smell it from the door. She's like, how much did you guys spray? That's the cologne guy right there. That pretty much sums it up in...
I love it, though. I don't know if I'm going to go full bottle with it, though, because it does... tend to be pricey now. It's been long discontinued.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And Calvin Klein's known for being quite inexpensive.
At the time, it probably was an accessible price, but since it's been discontinued for years, and...
Is it hard to come by, though?
I think it is pretty hard to come by. It was one of the first fragrances that was released by Calvin Klein.
Okay.
So, yeah. That one is... what's the word I'm looking for? It's got cojones.
Big balls of brass.
Yes. Next one here. We fast forward 20 years.
Now, this is a brand that was introduced to me from Chris from Scentland, and if it wasn't for him, I never would have got into the brand. I personally like the brand, but I have never smelt this one before.
Yeah. So this one is Python Uomo from Trussardi, and we have a little sample here. By the way, these samples were genuinely gifted to me by Anooj from ENCHANTE Perfumes. You can look up his site online.
Thank you, Anooj.
20-year fast forward though, so
I'm sure that this is something that I'll enjoy though.
Enter a new era in fragrance. At least a few different eras had passed since Calvin was released. Okay, so we'll give this one a couple sprays. All right. Prime it up, and then here we go. Let me give that first sniff. It's my first time smelling it too. Ooh.
This is more of my take.
Ooh. This is much more suave.
Musky.
It is
very musky.
It is musky, but this is like a different kind of. This is a different kind of musk, though. Calvin was in the age of musk ketones, where those musks like projected, and they, really, that's why a lot of those fragrances at that time really were beasts, is because those nitro musks were just really diffusive. So, but this is still really musky, but it is aromatic.
Very airy.
Yeah, it's airy, it's aromatic. I do sense that there is like sort of like this iced tea kind of quality. It's a little leafy.
Like a certain freshness to it.
Freshness, yeah.
Like when you meant like iced tea, for me it kind of like, it's hotter. It's hot as hell outside right now.
Yeah.
It's just like when you open up like a freezer or a cooler, that cold air gets your hot claim skin.
Yeah.
In some ways.
I'm not sure if this will be picked up, but I mean, the juice itself is this cool, light, icy blue too. So I'll also put up a photograph of the bottle. It's very blue. It is very nice. It is very much of its time, but I think there's a renaissance of those styles from the late 90s and early 2000s. It does dry down somewhat sweet and woody. Yeah, and you know what? I'm actually picking up like kind of like an olive scent to it too, which just so happens to be in the pyramid. So I'm not just reading the pyramid off. I really do smell something that reminds me of like black olives.
Like for me, I get like a violet leaves type of feel.
Yeah. But it has like somewhat of, what's the word I'm trying to look for? It is ozonic. There we go. Ozonic, like airy, ozonic.
You can see that a little bit.
Yeah. Here you go.
Like in some ways, like, because like you said, it's ozonic. In some ways, this does remind me of Hugo Boss Element, which is actually in my bag. I brought it here. But it's like a slightly fruitier green version.
Mm.
So I like it. This one I actually enjoy. Way easier, way better than the Calvin Klein. No,
it's a little bit more contemporary, that's for sure. So the perfumer is Louise Turner, and she would be known for Lost Cherry from Tom Ford. There's a few others that she composed, which I don't have up anymore, so we can cut that out. So we'll just edit all of this out while I look her up again. All right, Louise, we need your help. Well, I need to remember what you did. She did. Oh yeah, Bad Boy, Bad Boy, Good Girl, Carolina Herrera. That was the other two that I remember used with that. I'll just mention those three because nothing else here is really that well known. Okay, so this was composed by Louise Turner, who would be best known for Bad Boy and Good Girl from Carolina Herrera, and she also happened to compose Lost Cherry from Tom Ford.
Good scent too.
Very good scent.
This is better though.
This is better. I think that if this weren't so inaccessible, if this hasn't become such a unicorn, as I like to call it, when things they become discontinued and the prices skyrocket, I would get a bottle.
I've seen them on eBay. They're a couple $100.
Yeah. Which I like it a lot, but I'm not so head over heels where I would be willing to spend that much money. However, that might differ for you. See if you can get a sample from someone. Maybe you can get a little bit from me because I have a generous amount here. So between the two of these...
Oh, you don't need to ask which one. You really don't. It's clearly the Trussardi one.
Yeah, Trussardi Python. Uomo, because there's a Trussardi Python. Well, how would you say for her? I'm forgetting. In Italian, Uomo.
I don't know.
All right. So
this is like, yeah, Uomo. It's like, dude, bro, no.
A Night at the Roxbury.
Yeah. That is just such an 80s powerhouse.
Yeah, yeah. And I love those, but I know that in this day and age, I would mostly wear something like that for myself. I don't know if I would necessarily be going out and getting a lot of the right attention wearing it.
Nope.
So it's all about context. So, all right, there you have it. Python and Calvin. And once again, thank you so much, Chad, for collaborating with me.
Thank you for coming up, man. It's like whenever I go like out of town, I always try to see if there's people from other cities like Boston, New York, and just see if there's any other guys. And I like working with a lot of people, whether like big channels or small channels. I just like meeting other people from the community. So.
Very well. And I have a couple of videos that I'll be doing with him as well, and you can check them out on his channel.
We got three
to be exact. So check those out. Those will be on his channel, which I will have linked in the video. Thank you so much, and be good to each other.
Have a good day.